I don't know if it's common mistakes or just losing patience. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with a client telling me, I don't want to go to trial, please settle the case now for whatever you can. Because the client's right. Okay? I sincerely believe that. They know what they need. The problem is that I'm going to be settling the case for 10% or 20% of what we'll be able to resolve the case with 2 years down the road. So it really is just a question of patience. I think while in America, everybody has the right to represent themselves, I don't know how a layperson who's not an attorney can navigate the complicated and complex laws that we have, bringing lawsuits and proving them. I just don't know how that's done. And over the years, you read decisions where people who represent themselves, and 99% of the time their cases are getting dismissed because they don't know what's needed to be done. And there are lawyers who go to law school, and when they get out of law school, they don't even know all the things that need to be done. It just comes with experience and perspective. So I don't think if you have a minor case, you could be successful on your own. If you can find an attorney who will take it, I think that's very good. You don't have to hire, but talk to an attorney as soon after your accident as you can, so that he or she can tell you what the time limits are. So it's just too complicated to answer that. There's no one answer that fits all. When I started practice, the answer was in New York State, and it differs in every state, but in New York State, you have 3 years from the date of the accident to start your lawsuit. But then we have a lot of other exceptions. So for example, if you're in an automobile accident, you have 3 years to start your lawsuit, but you only have 30 days from the date of the accident to file your application for no-fault benefits that pays your bills. So that's one example. The 3 years isn't so important compared to the 30 days. If you're suing the city of New York, you don't have 3 years. You have 1 year and 90 days to start a lawsuit. And again, you only have 90 days from the date of the accident to file what's called a notice of claim. And there's a lot more like that, but that's why it's really good to consult a lawyer as soon as you can, so you know the time constraints you're facing. That question is like asking me, what is a happy marriage? Okay? It's long and it's complicated, and so is a lawsuit, okay? What the person needs is to talk to his or her lawyer, okay? Communications and patience. Those are the 2 things that'll bring you success. Because there's nothing I can do to make a judge proceed with a case faster than he or she wants. So you just have to be patient, and eventually the judge will get to our case. Yes, I think the standard practice in New York State, as it is in most other states, is if you have a negligence case where you're hurt in an accident, most lawyers will take it on a contingent fee, which means if they could get a settlement acceptable to you as the client, they would get 1/3 of any recovery. The client would get 2/3. After the split of 1/3 and 2/3, the client would reimburse the attorney for any costs to the case. And sometimes clients are a little unsure of what that means. What that means is in New York, the party who brings the lawsuit, like the client, has to pay the costs. We're lucky in New York in that we don't have to make the client pay. We can pay, but at the end, the client has to reimburse us if we're successful. So, for example, I don't ask the client to write a check for $210 to the county clerk, New York County, if that's where we're going to file the lawsuit. I can do that. But at the end, the client pays me back. Other states, though, the contingent fee could be different. So for New York, it's 1/3. Other states, you have to ask the attorney. The most helpful thing to me, or whoever their attorney is if at the scene of the accident, they or a relative can take pictures and maybe get the cell phone number of any witnesses. Those are the two most important things, okay? If the documents they need to prepare, they don't have to prepare. I'll do that for them. But I'm not at the scene of the accident, so I've got to rely on them to try and get the evidence that'll help me win their case. Another thing that many members of the public do not know is that in the 5 boroughs of New York City, if you're in an accident where you don't think you need an ambulance, the police are not going to come. They're not going to do an accident report, so it's up to you.